Deuteronomy chapter 28. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy Elohim will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of Yah thy Elohim. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out. For Yah, all right. All right. And blessed shall be the fruit. This is verse 4. Fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Verse 5. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. Verse 6. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out. Yah shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way, and flee before thee 7 ways. The Lord shall command the blessings upon thee in thy storehouses, and in all that thou settest thy hand unto. And he shall bless thee in the land in which Yah thy Elohim giveth thee. Yah shall establish thee a holy people unto himself, as he has sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of Yah thy Elohim and walk in his ways. Again, Yah shall establish thee a holy people unto himself, as he has sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of Yah thy Elohim and walk in his ways. One more time. And Yah shall establish thee a holy people unto himself, as he has sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of Yah thy Elohim and walk in his ways. And all the people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of Yah, and they shall be afraid of thee. And Yah shall make thee plenteous in goods, in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy ground, in which the land that Yah sware unto thy fathers to give thee. Yah shall open unto thee his good treasure, the heaven to give the rain unto thy land in his season, to bless all the work of thine hand. And thou shalt lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow. And Yah shall make thee the head, and not the tail. And thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath. If that thou hearken unto the commandments of Yah thy Elohim, which I command thee this day, to observe and to do them. Again, and Yah shall make thee the head, and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only, and that thou shalt not be beneath, if that thou hearken unto the commandments of Yah thy Elohim, which I command thee this day, to observe and to do them. And one more time. And Yah shall make thee the head and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath, if that thou hearken unto the commandments of Yah thy Elohim, which I command thee this day to observe and to do them. This is our part of the covenant in which Yah has given unto us. Verse 14, and thou shalt not go aside from any words from which I command thee this day, to the right hand or to the left, to go after other gods to serve them. The consequences for disobedience. But again, this is all part of the covenant, God's part and our part, in effect today. 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yah thy Elohim, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, increase of thy kind, and flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. Yah shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thy hand unto, for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. Understand. And Yah shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thy hand unto, for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. Again, Yah shall send upon thee cursings, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto, for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. Yah shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land, whither thou goest to possess it. Yah shall smite thee with consumption, and with fever, and with inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. Yah shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven it shall come down upon thee, until thou be destroyed. He's saying here, we leave him, and these curses are going to come upon us until we are destroyed. Let's stop being destroyed and come back to Yah, our Elohim, via the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yah. We got a long way to go, but together we will get there. Verse 25, Yah shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. We have to know this covenant is still in effect, and we are currently removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. And thy carcass shall be meat unto all the fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. Remember us hanging on trees? All right? That's when that happened. And Yah will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emerods, and with the scab, and with the itch, whereof thou cannot be healed. And Yah shall smite thee with madness, and blindness, and astonishment of heart. So blindness in part is not being able to understand, especially when you're hearing the word of Yah come before you to be a blessing unto thee. So in these days, he's given us the opportunity to see, to hear, to understand, to fulfill our part of the covenant. Verse 29, and thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee again. These are the curses that came upon us until we come back to Yah, our Elohim. We are the Israelites, the 12 tribes of the Israelites. These are blessings and the curses, the prophecies that continue unto this day. Verse 30, thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. We can think about in the slave days. Okay. It happened then. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein when the houses were burned, when the land was stolen. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. We don't have any might, no financial might, no military might, but we do have the spirit of Yah. We do have the opportunity to come back to him and understand that this is our heritage. This is our blessings and curses from Yah. Verse 33, the fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. So that's like the Native Americans as well as Judah. Verse 34, so that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. Yah shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed, from the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head. Yah shall bring thee and thy king which thou set over thee unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. The Yah shall bring thee and thy king which thou settest over thee unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. We did not know the United States of America when we came from the west coast of Africa. Okay. We did not know Christianity. And when they speak about stone, that ties directly into the Kaaba stone. Verse 37, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, which is a wise saying. A proverb mostly If you want to hide something from a brother, put it in the book. This Bible is the book we need to be reading. And a byword among all nations, whither Yah shall lead thee. A byword is just something that just too like African American. All right. But these nations changed our names, so we don't understand that we're part of the nation of Israel. All right. Judah, Benjamin, Levi. So-called African Americans are Judah. The Levites are like your Haitians, Jamaicans. Okay. Issachar, Latin Americans, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad. Okay. These are some of our brothers, Puerto Ricans. Okay. Native Americans. Verse 38, thou shalt carry much seed out into the field and shalt gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shalt neither drink of the wine nor gather grapes, for the worms shall eat them. Thou shalt have olive trees throughout all thy coast, but shalt not anoint thyself with the oil, for thine olive shall cast its fruit. Thou shalt begat sons and daughters, but not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. Our sons and daughters, because of these curses, us not following the law, statutes, and commandments of God. All right. If we was just to do the 10 Commandments alone, that would be a great blessing. All right. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not covet. All right. Honor thy father and thy mother, so the land that the Lord thy God giveth thee, your days may be long there. And the rest, thou shalt. He is the Lord our Elohim that brought us out of Egypt, that brought us out of the house of bondage. We should have no Elohim before him. Okay. Not having like graven images like the cross that's on us. That's like somebody killed your father with a hammer and you wearing the hammer across your neck. All right. Graven images. Okay. So these are things that God wants us to get back to understand. These we got to do our part to live up to the part of the covenant so that we can be blessed again the way Yah saying we will be blessed. It says, and all the trees and fruit of thy land shall the locust consume. The stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. Again, we have to do our part of the covenant to get back to where Yah wants us to be. This is our heritage. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt not, and thou shalt not, and thou shalt be the tail. Okay. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee till thou be destroyed. All right. We're already at that point of being destroyed because we do not know who we are. We do not know where we come from. We have a lot of confusing things. But he says, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yah, thy Elohim, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. And they shall be to thee for a sign and a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So until we understand that we have to get back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, these curses are going to be a sign upon us as they are today. And therefore a sign and a wonder. So we know that we are the children of Israel. We've been changed mentally, physically, spiritually. But God's saying this is the roadmap to getting back to him, to getting back in those blessings, back in those favor. It says, because thou servest not Yah, thy Elohim, with joyfulness and gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which Yah shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Okay, like has been said, we have to go to everybody for clothes, water, shelter. We are mentally destroyed and spiritually destroyed because we do not know who we are. But Yah is taking the blinders off so we can come back to him in spirit and in truth to be ready to receive the blessings that he has for us. And Yah shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. All right. Do your history on that. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor shall show favor to the young. So this is what we need to understand. And 51, and he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, or flocks of thy sheep until he have destroyed thee. All right. So we're already at that point. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trusted throughout all the land. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all the land, which Yah thy Elohim giveth thee, had given thee. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which Yah thy Elohim hath given thee, in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee. Believe it or not, this has already happened in Jerusalem. There was a time where they kept us from having food and water, and they literally had to eat the children. All right. 54, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother. Again, this Bible is our roadmap getting back to Yah. We supposed to love our neighbors. We love ourselves. We Israel. All right. We ain't supposed to look at each other as being evil and hateful. All right. And continue. And toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. All right. We conditioned to hate each other. We was a loving people. We got to understand the methods of conditioning that got us here. Go back, do your history, figure it out. It's the paper trail is as wide as it is long. 55, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children, whom he shall eat, because he have nothing left him in the siege, and in the straitness wherein thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. So, due to the role reversals, and women having to be so independent, the way the roles have been reversed. All right. And things are not in the proper order. So we have a lot of, we'll say, I'll just put it like this. There's not order in the house as per the word of Yah. Okay. And toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things, secretly in the siege and straitness wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name of Yah thy Elohim. Again, if thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name of Yah, thy Elohim. So we have to understand, we have to come back to this right here and fear Yah. It's all in the Bible, the things that he's done to Egypt, all right, and our enemies. Okay, this Bible is about us, Israelites, okay, and strangers join with us, okay, but this is about us, okay, this is about our family, this is about our nation coming back together, and everybody doing their part to bring us back together. We can't do it by ourselves, but by the Spirit of God, which is imputed into us. All right. One plants the seed, another gives water, some gives the sunlight, but Yah gives the increase. All right. And 59, then Yah will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and long countenance, and sore sickness, and of long countenance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also, every sickness and every plague, which is not written in the book of this law, them will Yah bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. And ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of Yah, thy Elohim. Now we have to understand, he promised Abraham to make his seed as the sands of the sea. All right, this is like a call to repentance, to come back to Yah. All right, and understand that okay, the words. Okay, so there's the European way of thought, and then there's the Hebrew way of thought, the Israelite way of thought. Okay, Jesus has no meaning. They changed his name, just like Daniel's name was changed, just like our names was changed when we was brought over here into America. A lot of that is to disconnect us from our heritage. Okay, his name, you could say Yeshaya. Okay, Yah is my salvation. Okay, let's see here. There, I'll have if you go to HebrewNationBuilding.com, again, HebrewNationBuilding.com. All right, you'll find a YouTube video there. Again, at HebrewNationBuilding.com. You'll find a video there that will speak about the transliteration of Yahuwah, okay, into Jesus. All right, and you'll understand what Jesus' name was before the European or the Romans changed his name. All right, it's really important. Okay, so again, HebrewNationBuilding.com. Look up through the list of videos, and you'll find the transliteration of Yahuwah. Okay, verse 63. And it shall come to pass that as Yah rejoiced over you to do you good and multiply you, so Yah will rejoice over you to destroy you and bring you to naught. All right. And ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. And Yah shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other. And thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Again, wood being the cross of Catholicism, and the stone is the Kaaba stone. Look and see what that's tied into. Okay, that ties directly back to Ishmael. Okay, and then also look into the sub-Saharan slave trade, and you'll get some more answers. Okay. Let's start bringing you out of this confusion. 65. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but Yah shall give thee there a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. So where we're at, we are experiencing these things right now, even amongst all the nations. All right. Just speak to some of your brothers and sisters. Just look on the news. We experience this every day. 66. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life. In the ghettos where we live, this is what it's like. In the morning thou shalt say, would Yah, it were even. And in the evening thou shalt say, would Yah, it were morning. For the fear of thine own heart wherewith thou shalt fear, for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. And Yah shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. We are in Egypt again right now, by the way I spoke unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man should buy you. All right, I'm going to wrap this up, but if we go to Deuteronomy chapter 30, and we'll go to, let's say verse 14, okay? But the word is very nigh unto thee, in thy mouth and in thy heart, that thou mayest do it. See, I have set before thee this day life and good and death and evil, in that I command thee this day to love Yah thy Elohim, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments. This is for our children, man. This is for our future. This is for our heritage. This is love, man. This is Yah, that thou mayest live and multiply. And the Lord and Yah, thy Elohim, shall bless thee in the land where thou goest to possess it. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shall be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, I denounce you this day, that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land whither thou passest over the Jordan to go possess it. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live, that thou mayest love Yah thy Elohim, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life, and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land that Yah sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give him. May the Lord bless the hearing, the readers, and the doers of his holy word. Amen.